Hello, boys and girls. In lesson 8.1, we will be looking at how to determine the mean absolute deviation by using prior knowledge on finding the mean. Let's begin by defining some terms. Using your prior knowledge, what do you know about finding the mean, median, mode, and range? To find the mode of data, you will be looking for the value that appears most often in a set of data. Sometimes there are more than one number that appears most often in a set of data, and therefore those numbers, all of those numbers, would be considered the mode. Range. The range is the difference between the lowest value and the highest value. Therefore, to find the range, you would subtract the lowest value from the highest value. Median. The median is the middle number in a list of numbers that were ordered from lowest to highest. If there are multiple numbers, all numbers must be included. Mean. The mean is the total of all the values divided by the number of values. Let's look at an example by using a line plot. In this line plot, we are going to find the mean, median, mode, and range. Let's begin by listing the data that you see. If we look at this first column, we will see that there are 3 ones in our set of data. We have 1, 2, shown by this one dot. We have 2 4s, therefore we will list the 4 twice. We have 3 6s, and we have 1 8. That means we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of data. We will use the fact that there are 10 pieces of data to find the mean. We will find the mean by adding all of those numbers. If I add those 3 ones, I would get 3, plus the 2, plus the 2 4s would give me 8, plus the 3 6s would give me 18, and finally the 8 would be the last number I am adding. Therefore, when I add those numbers up, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 8 is 13, plus 18 is 31, plus 8 is 39. So our sum is 39. We will then take the 39 and divide it by the total pieces of data that we had, which were 10, to give us a mean equaling 3.9. Let's reset this so that we can look at the median. To find the median, I like using the rainbow method. So if I connect the first with the last numbers until I get to the center, I will find that the center of my data are 2 4s. Ordinarily, we would find the average of both of those center numbers. So 4 plus 4 equals 8, and then 8 divided by the 2 4s, because the 2 numbers that we had, will give us 4. Obviously, the median would be the 4 because the average between 4 and 4 is 4. Let's take a look at the mode for this data. So again, to find the mode, all we are doing is looking for the number that appears the most. The line plot is an easy tool to use to indicate which number occurs the most, because we will need to see the highest level that each number reaches. we can notice here that the 1 and the 6 both have the highest number of values. The 1 appears 3 times, the 6 appears 3 times. Therefore, 1 and 6 are both the mode. Continuing on, to find the range, we are looking to take the highest value, which is 8, and subtracting it by the lowest value, which is 1. So when I do 8 minus 1, I get 7. 7 would be my range. Let's take a look at what mean absolute deviation means. In simplest terms, mean absolute deviation is the average amount that each number is away from the mean of the whole set. So what does that mean? That signifies that you will find how far away your mean is from each number on our list, and then take an average or a mean of all of those quote unquote deviations. So let's take a look at them as steps. If we had to find the mean absolute deviation of the numbers in bold here, then we know we would add these numbers up: 80 plus 85 plus 81 plus 0 plus 85 plus 90 plus 87 plus 92 to get a sum of 600. Then I would divide 600 by the number of items on our list. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers on our list, and we would get the answer 75. Therefore, 75 is our mean or our average. So this is the mean that we would like to see. Well, how much is our data deviating from that mean? Or how much is it away from that mean? So we're going to take each one of these pieces of data and subtracting it with 75. So 80 minus 75 is 5. Then 85 minus 75 is 10. Then 81 minus 75 is 6. Then 0 minus 75 is negative 75. 85 minus 75 is 10. 90 minus 75 is 15. 87 minus 75 is 12. And then finally 92 minus 75 is 17. So now that we have all of the deviations, or we have all of the differences that the mean is from the sum, from each of the values that were listed, we will now take each of these differences or these deviations and find the average of them all. So I would take 5 plus 10 plus 16 plus 75. We will leave this as a 75 and not as a negative 75. Plus 10 plus 15 plus 12 plus 17. And as you could see, it was done here on the bottom. The total is 150. We would still use 8 to divide because 8 is the number of items that we are looking at on our list. So the mean absolute deviation is 18.75. Let's try another one together. We're going to find the mean absolute deviation from a dot plot and round to the nearest 10. So I would like to list my data so that I can see it clearly. Therefore, I will list it as 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 4. So let's find our sum. I know that this comes out to 3. the 3 ones. The 2 twos come out to be 4, and the 2 fours come out to be 8. This makes it a little bit easier to add. So I am adding 0 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 8 to give me a total of 18. So to find the mean, I will now take that 18 and divide it by however many pieces of data I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of data. Therefore, my mean is 2. Now that I know what my mean is, I'll be able to find the mean standard deviation. I do that by subtracting 2 from each one of the pieces of data. So I'm going to use my list to help me out. So if I do 0 minus 2, I would have negative 2. 1 minus 2 gives me negative 1. 1 minus 2 again gives me negative 1. 1 minus 2 again gives me negative 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Now we're going to take all the positive values or all the absolute values of these numbers and find their average. So this list right here is called the deviation because that's how much it deviates or it moves away from the original number. So let's find the mean deviation for this set of data. So I will take, remember we're taking absolute value. So we're going to add 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 to give me a total of 10. So 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 0 is 5, plus 0 is 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Divided by, again, we're still dividing by 9 digits, by 9 because there are 9 digits here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When I divide by 9, I get 1.1, and then I'm going to need that extra number to be able to round to the nearest tenth. So I take that extra place value and use it to help me round my final answer to 1.1.